What's up, everyone? Cinephile Mike here, and we are in season 4 of award season reviews, counting down to the 98th Academy Awards with 98 reviews in 98 days. Quick reminder before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single review coming at you. We're moving along. It's our 9th theme week. It is Craft Week, dedicated to the films that are in the running for such categories as editing, makeup and hair, costumes, and the like. All those awards that have delighted our senses. Today, I am looking at another A24 contender, The Smashing Machine. Written and directed by Benny Safdie, the film premiered at Venice in September of 2025, just a month before releasing in theaters this past October. The Smashing Machine centers on Mark Kerr, played by Dwayne Johnson, a dominant and highly respected figure in the early days of mixed martial arts. The film introduces him to us kind of at the height of his success, publicly confident and physically unstoppable, while quietly hinting at the personal cost of life inside the cage. As his career continues to rise, the film quickly establishes that the battles Kerr faces outside the ring may be far more difficult than any opponent he meets inside of it, some of which revolve around the use of narcotic painkillers, which... yeah. Away from competition, Mark's personal life is anything but stable. His relationship with his girlfriend Dawn, played by Emily Blunt, is deeply complicated, defined by cycles of affection, tension, and emotional volatility. As injuries pile up and the pressure to perform mounts, Kerr turns increasingly to painkillers to keep himself going, blurring the lines between recovery and dependency. Training camps, international fights, and moments of brief success are all filtered through a growing sense that something is fundamentally breaking beneath the surface, which leads him to make some drastic life-altering decisions. Some which upset Dawn, and others which bring him into his supportive circle, including Mark Coleman, played by MMA fighter Ryan Bader, and Baz Rutten, played by himself. A nice touch of authenticity here. We see him go through such famed matches against the likes of Igor Vovchanchenkin, played by Alexander Usyk, and Kazuyuki Fujita, played by Yoko Hamamura, to reach his life goals. Now, as the film narrows its focus on a critical stretch of Kerr's career, professional setbacks and personal crises begin to collide. Relationship strain, focus slips, and the emotional toll of the sport becomes very impossible to ignore. Rather than framing his story as a straightforward, rise and fall arc, The Smashing Machine lingers on the fragility of a man trying to hold himself together, ultimately stepping back, looking at Kerr's place in the sport and the legacy that he leaves behind. From a craft standpoint, the fight sequences are undeniably the film's strongest element. Cinematographer Maceo Bishop captures the bout with a raw immediacy that makes every exchange feel punishing and real, aided greatly by the decision to populate the ring with professional fighters and boxers rather than actors pretending to be athletes. The choreography never feels staged or overly stylized. Instead, it leans into that, exhaustion, that imbalance, that brute force. Even for viewers with little interest in MMA, these scenes are gripping, and it's clear that the filmmakers understood that authenticity in the ring would be essential to selling Kerr's story. Dwayne Johnson delivers one of the most physically convincing performances of his career, and due no small part. I don't want to take away from the physical parts, but there's an extraordinary work of makeup and hair artists that worked on him. Their transformation of Johnson is seamless, allowing him to disappear into Mark Kerr, in a way that really makes you forget you're watching a specific star playing a role. Until maybe he shaves his head. Paired with Emily Blunt, who again proves she has strong on-screen chemistry with Johnson. If you don't know, go watch Jungle Cruise on Disney+. The performances do much of the heavy lifting. However, while the relationship is convincingly played, it's written as so relentlessly toxic and underdeveloped that its dramatic weight often feels unearned. despite the commitment of the actors playing these roles. The script's choice to focus on a relatively tight period of Kerr's life is admirable, avoiding the, greatest hit structure that plagues many sports biopics, yet it struggles to really generate a forward momentum. The film spends so much time digging itself out of the emotional lows that it becomes difficult to stay invested in the journey one moment to the next. Now, I will say there were some, strong late 90s needle drops that, effectively helped establish the tone and the era. But when those are becoming a little more memorable than some of the other elements of the film, something's amiss. What ultimately keeps The Smashing Machine watchable, again, it's the fight sequences and the craft behind them. As Benny Safdie's first solo feature, the film shows flashes of confidence and ambition, but it also feels like a promising effort that needed a stronger narrative backbone to really fully capitalize on the undeniable technical strengths. Now let's talk about box office and awards. At the end of its run, the film made $11,411,388 domestically and $9,719,354 internationally, for a worldwide take of $21,130,742. Not far divided between critics and audience, the film currently sits with a 70% tomato meter from 305 critical reviews and a 74% popcorn meter from over 1,000 audience reviews. Award season-wise, the film is nominated for Best Achievement in Makeup and Hairstyling at the Oscars, a category it was nominated for at the Critics' Choice Awards, and there is a Makeup and Hairstylist Guild nod specifically for Best Period and/or Character Makeup for a feature-length motion picture. Johnson and Blunt were both nominated for Golden Globes, he in Best Performance by a Lead Actor in a Drama, she for Best Supporting Performance, and when the film premiered in Venice, it was a Golden Lion nominee for Best Film, and Benny Safdie did win the Silver Lion Best Director Award. Additionally, the film had over a dozen nods or wins in varied categories from critic circles and film festivals. So where do I land? I will be honest. I wanted to like this one a lot more. I got excited for it when I saw the trailer, but it's a middle ground 3-star film for me. Right down the middle. Agree? Don't agree? Let me know in those comments. If you would like to watch The Smashing Machine so we can discuss it, head over to stream it on HBO Max. All right. Thank you all for joining me for episode 60 of Award Season Review Season 4. We got 38 days, so make sure you stay with me. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me everywhere on social platforms, on Letterboxd, and of course, head over to cinephilemike.com for more movie reviews and goodies. I'll be back tomorrow with the next review, but until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.